Boys and girls, this is Boonchman Bok Choi bringing you another F123 ranked online video. Today we're going to try something different. As you can see on screen, the last few races that I've done, I've qualified on pole or in the top 2 or 3. Started the race there and then pretty much sat there for the entirety of the race. And it was just really boring, and you're wondering why I haven't put out any videos in quite a while. And that's because in the last few races, what you're seeing on screen right now is the most action I've seen. Starting P2, leader crashes himself on lap 12, and then we take the win with like 20 seconds, a 20-second gap. So I figured today we'd start off at the back of the grid, and it was a little bit weird because the races this week are supposed to be Spa, Monza, and Monaco. But as you can see, in about 2 seconds, we go into the lobby, and we're at Mexico. So I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if it's a glitch or not. But we are at Mexico trying a last 2 question mark challenge. And since we're at the back, might as well be on the mediums. Sinister Flump starting P8 also on the mediums as well. And I believe most of the other drivers in the top 7 are on softs. So as I normally do when we start these races at the back, I don't even use much ERS at all. Actually, I don't think I used any. But we actually have a pretty clean turn 1, and somebody is ghosting out and ghosting back in, so not really a great sign right away. It looks like there's already terrible connection in the lobby to begin with, and now we're having to deal with ghosted cars because apparently their personal internet is really slow. So as you can see, a few cars off track there, joining in that chicane and taking off another car. So we've moved up 2 positions without having really to do much. Still 100% battery. We skip ahead to lap number 2 now. We are in P7 currently. Sinister Flump still 1 position ahead of us, and we've caught up to a couple of cars here. Now, Expert Golem going off track, coming back on, joining not really safely, and taking out Sinister Flump, who's dropped back. So I know he was going to do the dive down the inside here, and I just let him go. And of course, he just doesn't leave any space. Not really surprising considering how he's been driving all race long. So we're just going to sit back. I'd rather lose the position than have our race destroyed this early on in the race. But as you can see, the leaders are starting to get away now. The guy who qualified on P1 at P1 qualified about 0.3 faster than us. Now, we didn't have any force feedback in the wheel. Once again, Cody's fixed the goddamn problem of losing force feedback. As Sinister Flip uses battery to get ahead of us, we're not going to fight too hard. But yeah, I extended on a certain part of the track that got us disqualified so that we'd start at the back, but our time was still only about 0.3 slower than his. So I figured if we didn't have to deal with too much back marker traffic, we would be fine. But as you can see right now, P1's almost at the end of the straight, and we just started the straight because we've been stuck behind some of the slower cars fighting, and this guy, Expert Golem, just driving erratically. So there's still a lot to race for, as Expert Golem kind of squeezes Sinister Flump there. And we're still stuck behind these guys in P7. But it looks like the 2 guys behind us are really too far back to really do anything anyway. So Expert Golem gets the worst of that exchange. We turn on the overtake here. I'm going to try and take the position. But of course, he comes back and spares Sinister Flump. I knew that was going to happen, and that's why I kind of delayed my turn in a bit. I don't know how we can get rid of these idiot drivers from the lobbies. It makes racing not fun at all. And because I haven't been doing much racing, I'm still in Silver 2. I only did 1 race last week. I won the race, and that was enough to get me promoted to the next level, which is kind of crazy. But anyway, we're on lap number 4 right now. We've caught up to J Pyro here and Bowen in P3. Looks like P1's a little bit too far ahead, and P2 might be doable if we can get by these guys quickly enough. Now we get by J Pyro, who doesn't really put up too much of a fight. I assume he just figured we were a little bit faster than him anyway, and fighting would have just lost us more time. Now we caught up to Bowen in P3, who's just kind of don't really know what he's doing there. Track extending a little bit, and not really taking the best lines, as you can see. but we're still going to get DRS off of him here. Not close enough to really make a move going into the stadium section, but it should help us close up a bit. He's all out of battery right now. We're not too good with our battery either. We are only at about 17%, so I think we only have about 5 or 6% more battery than he does at this point in the race. So he doesn't have a great stadium section, but we get a little bit of a tank slapper there coming out of the stadium section ourselves, coming down the start finish straight. Now I think my wings were too high. Now Bowen goes to the left, then he goes all the way to the right, and then comes right back over to the left. I want the outside here. I don't know what the hell he's doing. We do get a little bit ahead of him here, and of course he drives into us there. We come back on. I hope he's going to leave us space, and then he doesn't. I should have known better. I should have known better than to try and make that corner. If he didn't leave us space when we were clearly in front of him, he wasn't going to leave the space when he probably didn't see us. So we have front wing damage. We've dropped down P6. Going to have to come in super early to get onto the softs. So hopefully we can get a really good undercut, as the pace of the drivers in front and around us didn't look all that great anyway. So we changed out the front wings, and we are on the softs right now, and we lost like 6 seconds in the pit lane, and we still caught up to J Pyro here. So it looks like we do have pretty decent pace. Now they are on the mediums. They started on the softs, so they're on the slower tire now. We are on the faster tire, but our tires are going to be dead towards the end of the race as we change onto them, I think, start of lap 6. So we're going to be doing 12 laps on the softs. So that's going to be quite a good chunk of the race that we're going to be on the soft tires. So caught up to the back of J Pyro here. We did get DRS. Couldn't get him on the main straight, but we're close enough to get him on the second DRS straight here. I don't know if he was using battery. We are just super low, so we're not that quick. Once again, he doesn't put up too much of a fight. I think he just knows we're a little bit quicker. We are on the faster tires. I don't think he realizes that we are on much older softs here, unless he was paying attention to the pit stops. But we do manage to get out in front of him. He stays behind. He manages to stay behind us and get DRS, but as we come to this corner here, I don't know what happens here. I don't know if he just outbroke himself or wasn't paying attention in the braking zones. He goes a little bit too late, maybe trying to go down the inside to avoid us, but he drives into the back of us. Considering how he was driving before, I honestly don't think that was a dirty move. I think maybe he just misjudged his braking zones or something like that. But unfortunately for him, I think that ended up damaging his front wing, as he just ended up falling back quite a bit. Now, Sinister's Flump has managed to catch up to us. We were ahead of him after he got taken out earlier in the race, but he was able to go he was able to use his normal pit strategy, and now he's on much fresher soft tires. I think he only came out about 4 seconds behind us in the pit lane, but our tires are dead at this point, and he is still on pretty decent soft tires. So he moves up to P3. We are down to P4. No threats from behind, but we are going to try and chase down this E-White guy in P3, who I believe started P2. And has somehow fallen like a full pit stop behind the leader. So end of lap 15 here, start of lap 16. Now I don't really know what to take away from this. We will watch it. He goes all the way out to the right, then cuts all the way back across the track. Don't know what the hell is going on, but he was a driver that was flashing or ghosting in and out earlier. Now we have to stop kind of early here because we're on really soft tires. I don't know, borderline. I'd say that was a borderline dive. He was really far behind. He probably didn't realize that we were on older tires. We have to brake a little bit earlier. Again, he's ghosting in and out because of his connection. We're on the inside here. He makes a quick movement to the left, which made me thought that he was going to turn in. So I had to jerk the steering wheel to the left and made us lose traction. Now to the next lap, on lap number 17. Still not really able to pull away from us. Ghosting in and out again. So like I said, I don't know. Could be dirty. Could just be lag causing some of what I'm seeing here. But he did come together with Sinister Flump as well on the main straight. They kind of banged wheels because this guy was trying to squeeze him a little bit too far to the inside. So like I said, it could be lag, but I'll let you guys be the judge of that. Now coming up onto the final lap here. We're coming out of the stadium section. We're right on his gearbox again. He was flashing a little bit earlier. We're at 30%, but I believe we have much higher wings. So yeah, his light's already flashing. We get ERS, DRS. We're on the outside once again. The rad proximity arrows are starting to turn white, so he's really, really far behind. Again, he makes that move down the inside. Doesn't leave us any space here, just squeezes onto the apex. Like I said, maybe technically it might be clean, but I just took it as a pretty dirty tactics there. I always left him space when we were wheel to wheel, and whenever he has a chance to leave space, he doesn't. So at this point, I thought if we come close again, I'm not going to give him any daylight at all. I'm not going to be I'm not going to show him quite as much etiquette as I've been showing him in the race. So some weird racing lines here. We get DRS and battery a little bit. He was flashing. He's on the inside again. I'm just going to go late on the brakes because I know he's just going to dive it down the inside again. He goes off track. I go off track. We get out in front of him. And then here, this was definitely intentional. We were already pretty much at the apex, and he just dove it down the inside anyway. So at this point, I thought, screw it. I'm not giving him any space anymore. I'm going to ride him into the wall if I have to. You know, if the first few moves were kind of borderline, that last move in the stadium section was definitely intentional. But we did well enough to finish in P3. Unfortunately, we got damage to the front wing early on in the race, which made us have to snub for a new front wing and new soft tires really, really early on. But still did well enough to finish P3. I think if we would have qualified on pole, I think we were pretty close to the pace of the leader, but we just got stuck behind so much traffic, and then having to pit super early, and then losing time changing out the front wings. And this is why we need strict track limits. Almost everybody there had like 9 or 10 warnings. Some people had like 10 warnings in a row all by themselves. We managed to get 2. One right after our pit stop when we changed under soft tires and the tires were a little bit cold, and then one towards the end. I don't remember which lap, but we did get 2 track extension warnings, but still under the 3 limit that would have given us a penalty. But like I said, still good enough for P3, but now I know why. Now I remember why I don't like these last 2 question mark challenges, because you just end up having to deal with the dirtiest drivers towards the end. But we start P9 and P3, still good enough anyway. Hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned for more. Remember to get bok choy. If you think I've earned it, feel free to leave a like, comment, or subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next episode.